Hello water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly tarot reading. I have laid out some cards here that I've pre-shuffled and sort of meditated on as I was putting out this spread. And welcome obviously to this reading. Welcome to what could be a very major, a very huge week for you, water signs. The Tower card is the major arcana card that dominates this spread. And seeing this straight away, I feel like it could be a very climactic, a very dramatic, a very crazy turn of events that's coming your way here. Emotionally speaking, there's going to be a lot of emotions that are going to be activated here for you. Now, what I'm seeing is that you're almost going to be going on this roller coaster of emotions this week. Now, there may be multiple people involved in a love connection, or your thoughts are sort of swiveling back and forth. The Two of Pentacles, it's almost like you're trying to keep your head above water around this Tower moment here. Now, straight away, the words that come to mind are something that you've built up hangs in the balance. Something that you've worked towards, you almost feel like it's being deconstructed very slowly, but there's a big shake-up. Now, with a Tower moment, it can bring a moment of fear or despair or loss. So suddenly, you might not be feeling very secure in your position somewhere. Suddenly, things are a bit being shaken up here, and it's going to require some maneuvering, okay? The boat here, the boat maneuvers its way. So I feel like, water signs, you're going on this emotional adventure and you're trying to maneuver yourself in the best way possible. And this is very powerful because I feel like this is an emotional journey. And I think for some of you, you might be closing yourself off to a situation because maybe there is someone around you who has made you feel a Tower moment. And as a result, you're withdrawing a little bit. You're hopping on this boat. The boat is protection. You've got you know, this protective vessel. There's several boats that have come up in the picture here. So it's almost like you're trying to maneuver yourself. Some of you might be jumping ship, though. I want to say you're exiting a connection and you're moving on to a different one altogether, entirely. And I feel like this is the panic that the Tower card can bring. You may even feel like, has my person jumped ship, or do I want to jump ship? And you know, it's threatening your peace in some way. But the beauty of it is that you rule the water realm, and you can see this boat on the surface here, moving away from the rocky, you know, the turbulent rocky waters and coming into something more smooth. So I feel like for some of you, it's almost like you might be ducking and dodging a situation. In some ways, I feel like, because I think of the sea and I think of waves and I think of water and I think of turbulence, and it's maybe in some ways you feel like you want to ride the waves, and maybe you need to ask yourself a question that you're the person that you are, or the person that you're with. Is this the person you want to sort of ride the waves with? Because it's never going to be smooth sailing. There's going to be turbulence, but it's the way in which you handle all of that speaks volumes. And it's also the way your person handles that as well. Now, when I see that Three of Pentacles, the first thing I think of is compromise, negotiation, discussion. So you're maneuvering in a way that you either are trying to not affect your person, or you're trying to ignore and suppress that Tower moment. Like, it's almost like there's this big elephant in the room and you're trying to ignore it and hoping it'll go away, or, you know, there's something that you want to communicate with your person, but you're just hoping that the waves will subside. And, you know, we need to be careful in these sorts of situations, because I think with the Two of Pentacles, it's telling me here that you're sort of wrestling with yourself, going, sometimes it affects me, other days I'm okay. Maybe you need to bring out that Tower moment, as difficult as it can be. because you need to step out and come into your strength. Now, the pillar in the Three of Pentacles, this is all about strength. It's very empowering, and there is a compromise. So if you're hoping that, you know, your person is going to hear you out or be open to hear what you have to say, it's very likely that this could be the case. It's very likely that you could sort of come to this, because I feel like some of you have reached a very pivotal point in your life, or a very pivotal point perhaps in your relationships, and that's sort of indicated by the 3 coming up here. The 3 being a number of birth, life, death, beginning, middle, endings. And this speaks about a journey. And when I see that triangle, it makes me feel like something within that journey of yours, in your connection, for example, there is this tower moment that's happening here. And for a lot of you, it is, I want to say it is make or break, because what does the ship represent? The ship represents a journey, yes, but the ship sets sail. It can represent departures. So for some of you, the 6 of Swords is also some sort of departure. You might be going away from your person. There might be a brief separation. For some of you, you'll want to exit this connection entirely. But I don't think it's just come on suddenly. I think with the 2 of Pentacles being here, it's probably something you've wrestled with internally. Now, this may be on a more subconscious level. So you've sort of wrestled with these thoughts and feelings, and you've come to this place, you've come to that ship, and it's almost like the question, you know, you beg the question, which way shall I steer this ship? Shall I steer the boat? But I feel like it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster here. And a lot of things could happen very quickly, which is indicated by the lightning rod in the Tower card. This is things happening very intensely. The lightning rod is things happening at lightning speed. So I think in some ways there's moments where in some aspects you'll have these moments where you feel completely overwhelmed. But then in others, it's almost like you'll feel like you've dipped. So it's almost, I think, in a lot of ways, managing your emotions. And it may have something to do with the planets, the planetary alignments. You know, keep an eye on that, because there can be astrological factors like the cycles of the moon and planetary aspects that can affect our emotions. And you being a water sign in particular, you are more so than other signs affected by the cycle of the moon, because you're governed by water, by emotion. So I think there is a bit of a tug, there is a bit of a push and pull, and pushing against. So like I said, I think the big thing for you is maneuvering your way through these sort of cycles and through the waves. I feel like riding the waves is probably the biggest thing that's coming up here for you, water signs. So I do wish you a lovely week ahead, and I do wish you peace and awareness of where it is that you're going, and hopefully we shall be connecting tomorrow or fairly soon. So thank you again very, very much, and until next time.